Texas enters 2025 with as much national attention as anybody in the sport, and that's probably for good reason, right? Steve Sarkisian is going into his fifth year at the helm, 37-17 overall. He has built the roster into one of the most talented in the country. Longhorns, fresh off a 2024 season that showed flashes of dominance, also ended with some lingering questions about execution in big moments. Red zone certainly has been a problem for a couple of years now. Now you've got Arch Manning stepping into the full-time QB1 role. Expectations are absolutely sky high. Odds makers have set Texas's win total at, 9.5? They're one of the favorites to win the national title. I mean, it is absolutely title or bust in Austin this year, which is kind of wild considering what they lost on the offensive line. They're swapping quarterbacks, all that kind of stuff. But when you put a Manning in the backfield and you've got this much talent, it makes sense. The offense is unquestionably Manning's show at this point. Sarkisian and the offensive coordinator Kyle Flood, they're going to lean into Manning's deep ball ability, but there's plenty of rebuilding around him. Only DeAndre Moore Jr. and Ryan Wingo return at receiver, and Wingo is an absolute stud. He's going to get a lot of looks this year. You got five-star freshman Khalil Lockett and Jamie French. They're going to be asked to contribute early. The backfield is in really good shape. They've got leading rusher Quintravion Wiesner returning. C.J. Baxter is now healthy again, and Jarrett Gibson adds a little power as well. So you got plenty of options at running back. The question mark, of course, the biggest question mark is the offensive line. You lose four starters. That includes the All-American Kelvin Banks Jr. You're going to have a youth movement coming in, and they got to gel quick. Manning's decision-making behind this front, this inexperienced front, is going to determine whether or not the offense hits its ceiling. On defense, you get the coordinator, Pete Kwiatkowski. I never say that right. Hopefully I got this one right. You guys tell me in the comment exactly how you're supposed to pronounce it. But they inherit one of the best linebacker corps in the country. Anthony Hill Jr., that's the centerpiece, is flanked by Trey Moore, and you've got a budding star in Colin Simmons. Gives Texas one of the nastiest pass rush units in America. The secondary remains strong. You got Malik Muhammad at corner. You got veteran safety Michael Taff anchoring the back end. Biggest concern, I think, is the defensive line interior. They lost 5 of their top 6 contributors up front. But now you got transfers coming in. Travis Shaw, Cole Brevard from Purdue, and Murad Watson from Syracuse that have got to plug gaps quick. If the line holds up, the defense could absolutely be elite again. We'll see. The keys for 2025 are straightforward. Manning got to play like a generational prospect, right? He's been hyped to be this. Let's see exactly what he does. The offensive line has got to find chemistry early, and the defense, their new faces have got to produce immediately. The obstacles for this year, pretty rough schedule in certain spots, right? They open at Ohio State. They travel to Georgia in November. They got road trips to Florida, and we'll toss Kentucky in there. I mean, it's, trap game potential. They got Oklahoma and Dallas like they do every year. Texas A&M at home is looming, but you can't ask for anything more than not getting Alabama, LSU, or Ole Miss on the schedule. But the slate is still fairly daunting, right? If Texas survives those stretches with just one loss, they're absolutely going to be in the playoff race. They'll be in the SEC title race, etc. Texas has the talent to win it all. The question is whether some of that youth in key spots and the weight of these expectations kind of derail them, or if 2025 becomes the year that they can finally cash in on all of it, what they've been working towards. Win total sits at 9.5. Odds are minus 192 to the over. That's an implied probability of over 65%, almost 66% to go over 9 wins. So to hit 10 wins. Odds to win the SEC are plus 280, over 26% on that. That's pretty high odds for a team starting a first-time starter. And yes, he is a first-time starter, to go into the season as that. So is what it is. The odds to make the CFP this season, minus 300, 75% probability to make the playoff this year. I know they have a ton of talent. I also know that a lot of it is inexperienced, and while they're certainly going to gel over time, I think this team does end up with a couple of losses early in the season, even against a fairly mediocre schedule early. I've got a loss at Ohio State. I've got a loss at Florida. Yes, that'll be one of my upset picks. But I've got them beating Georgia and Athens later in the season. And I've got that en route to an SEC championship game appearance for the second straight season. I think this could be a really big year for Texas. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.